This is 7-5 Radio with Walter Yurkiw and Peter Scoop Stanton. This is the radio show that will break your neck, if your neck needs breaking. And here are the hosts of 7-5 Radio, Walter Yurkiw, star of the biggest documentary movie ever made, The 7-5, and Peter Scoop Stanton, who starred in To Catch a Predator.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, my neck does not need breaking. I am live from the Political Cesspool. It is indeed the hour after dark, baby. And Scoop Stanton is booting up all of his gear and getting ready to join you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm kind of like the intro man. To get it all done and take care of business, he starts now.
And this is Peter Scoop Stanton at the Liberty Roundtable Correction, the Political Cesspool 20th anniversary. We had a little technical difficulties. Sam's staff is working on it right now. I just got done on the Political Cesspool. It was something to be seen with. Anyways, Walter, are you with us tonight?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm rolling.
Outstanding. Mike, are you on the air with us?
I'm here, brother.
Outstanding. Do we have anybody else on the family here? Okay. Anyways, once again, I am down here in South Carolina. Little technical difficulties on my part. If I sound overserved, that's because I am. Because last night I had a little too much fun, but I was by myself. Anyways, today is May 18th, 2024. Let's start with first order of business. We want to remember the men and women of law enforcement who were murdered in the line of duty. Tonight we remember Jacob Durbin of the Yurkiw, Ohio Police Department. End of watch, May 11th, 2024. His killer committed suicide. Unfortunately, he should have done that first before he decided to kill Officer Durbin. Anyway, secondly, once again, I am in Greenville, Greenville, South Carolina, and at the Political Cesspool 20th anniversary. I just want to say a couple words real quick about the Political Cesspool and Liberty Roundtable before we pass it off to the man of the hour, Walter Yurkiw. Anyways, thing about James Edwards is that he is a man of the people. He did not have us talk, any of us from the radio show, to talk until the show. He had a whole bunch of guests come on. They did some talked about the state of this country, which absolutely stinks, and they were phenomenal. So anyways, I got to hang out with great people afterwards, especially some Brazilians. Guys, you like this one. I met a couple of guys who flew up from Brazil. The names are Eduardo and Henrique, and they brought their own liquor cabinet, which I did my best to help deplete the supply of booze. So, hold on. Hey, Zach! So anyways, once again, we are working on the technical difficulties here at Greenville, South Carolina. So anyways, it was a great 3-hour show. I had 10 minutes to talk because everybody else had to say so much. So I can't thank James enough for what he's done for me. Because of him, I was able to start my own radio show, to have people like Walter, to have people like Mike, Danila, and Heather on our own family. So anyways, thank you, Mr. Edwards. Secondly, Walter Yurkiw, the person who is 7-5 Radio, has been sick for 2 months. He is 7-5 Radio. He is one of the toughest SOBs and one of the nicest and most sensitive people I have ever had the pleasure to meet. And Walt, we need you here for the foreseeable future because this whole weekend I just learned or found out how bad a shape this country is. So, Walter, take it away. What's been going on with you? How are you feeling? Oh, hold on 1 second.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Walt, hold on 1 second. This is 7-5 Radio at the Political Cesspool's 20th anniversary. I have host Walter Yurkiw on the horn. I have Mike Rakebrandt on the horn. Walter's been out for a couple months. He is the toughest SOB I know and one of the nicest people I ever had the chance to meet. Walter, take it away. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling a lot better, you know. It was just process of elimination from doctors' misdiagnoses to doctors' correct diagnoses to doctors mismedicating me to doctors correctly medicating me. So it was not only the COVID, but I had infections in my head. I had infection in my throat, infection in my sinus, infection in my ear, my nose, you name it. There was an infection. And the first round of doctors didn't really diagnose it correctly. So they didn't go as far as my aftercare did with my doctors of choice, let alone the doctors of the hospital. But I'm feeling really much better. You know, I still have my dizzy spells. I lost about 40 pounds, and hopefully I'll be, you know, gaining some of that back. That's a lot of my strength that I lost. And hell, you know, in another month or so, I hope to be back in the gym doing some light work.
Outstanding. That 40 pounds is 40 pounds of muscle, correct?
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. You know, I could tell that I lost a lot. My chest, my shoulders, you know, my legs. But you know, like you said to me earlier, you know, I'll bounce back. I'm just concerned about how many bounces I got left in me. So,
well, Walt, we've been doing this for 6 years, and again, like I said before, you're the toughest SOB I know. We're very glad to have you back. Mike has been sexually harassing me constantly, so also miss the insults. And for the special occasion...
Speaking of that, you know, the thing, I got 2 questions for you. You know, number one, you know, you mentioned just a few moments ago that you were alone and you had too much fun. I mean, you know, usually when people are alone, they have just enough and then, you know, roll over and go to sleep. And these Brazilians coming from South America, is liquor the only thing they brought to that party?
Yeah, well, it was a couple of dudes. They brought this great liquor. I was helping deplete it as much as I can, and that's why I was overserved. But
so they got through customs, okay?
I guess so. Hey, I'm not asking no questions. You know, hey, try this. Okay. Hey, we need to finish it. We got about 3/4 of a liter left. Okay. So I mean, and here's the funny thing: they couldn't be the nicest guys. And, you know, Danila's from Brazil. Her friend Alessandra's from Brazil. But these 2 gentlemen who I'm looking at talking to Keith Alexander couldn't have been any nicer. I mean, people from Brazil are nice, unlike people other places like Washington, D.C.
Well, okay. But getting back to you having, like, too much fun when you're alone, was the nursing home doors locked?
Yeah, the nursing home doors were locked. But... yeah, another night alone again for Peter Scoop Stanton. But why are we talking about me? Mike, take it away. Please welcome Mr. Yurkiw back on 7.5 Radio.
Well, welcome back, man. It's really great to hear you back. It's especially great to hear you breaking Scoop's hump there. And as for Scoop, you know,
I got plenty for him.
I have no doubt you do, brother. I have no doubt you do. I know you'll be back in the gym in no time and back to breaking necks, man. But, you know, for Scoop, the sexual harassment thing, you know, I wouldn't do it if he wouldn't keep asking for it. You know, he keeps begging me to do it. I guess he's just feeling that way, you know, so I have to get in there and, you know, make sure he feels okay. We don't want him getting too down, you know.
Yeah, you got to keep him on his toes.
That's it. You know, you got to keep him happy, you know. So, Scoop, what did you exactly do on this night alone that you spent this whole time with yourself? Me and Walt really want to know.
Well, I cried myself to sleep. Is that what you hear? You want to hear me pour my heart out? I cried myself to sleep. I had a little too much to drink. These nice Brazilian gentlemen gave me some very good alcohol, not the typical rock drink, but they really gave me some good stuff, and they couldn't have been any nicer. And everybody here is just nice as nice can be. And, me coming from D.C., I'm not used to dealing with nice people.
And that's true. DC is acceptable 100%,
Anyways, when we come back, we'll talk more about Walter Yurkiw, Mike Rakebrandt, what I'm doing by myself alone. We are at the Political Cesspool's 20th anniversary, actually 19 and a half year anniversary party. Take it away, boys.
Former Sheriff Richard Mack recounts in his book The Proper Role of Law Enforcement how he came to realize while working as a beat cop how wrong the all-too-common orientation of police officers is when they think of their job as being to write tickets and arrest people. Richard Mack tells of his personal transformation from by-the-number cop to Constitution-conscious defender of citizen safety and freedoms. Learn what it really means to serve and protect. Purchase your copy at CSPOA.org. That's CSPOA.org.
Attention collectors and savvy investors. We are excited to announce a momentous evolution in our journey. Introducing Free Water Coin Company, formerly known as Rust Coin and Gift. This rebranding takes us back to the very roots of where it all began, Free Water, Oregon. It's a tribute to the legacy of Al Rust and a celebration of 3 generations of dedication and excellence in the world of coins and precious gifts. Al, Brian, and Jake Rust, standing strong through 64 years of service. Discover a world of exceptional service at Free Water Coin Company, your premier destination for genuine, honest money and precious gifts. Under Brian's expert guidance, Free Water Coin Company, building on the legacy of Rust Coin and Gift, continues its tradition of trust and excellence. Visit us at our Provo, Utah location. Explore our treasures online at rustgoldandsilver.com or call us at 801-377-1574. Free Water Coin Company, where your future is built one honest coin at a time.
Do you know what is great about America? Ask an Immigrant. Ask an Immigrant is a new podcast dedicated to helping Americans, especially our youth, value, appreciate, and be grateful for the freedoms we have here in America. Join host Lydia Wallace-Nuttall as she interviews immigrants from around the world to discover their inspiring personal stories about why they came to America. To learn more about why America is the most prosperous, greatest country in the world, download the Loving Liberty app or go to lovingliberty.net.
You're back, and Scoop is just getting back from posting insults on Twitter. This is still 7.5 Radio.
And we are back. Peter Scoop Stanton at the Political Cesspool 20th anniversary with Mike Rakebrandt and Walter Yurkiw, who is back after recovering from 2 months from illness. Anyways, as I'm scanning the room, nobody's paying attention. James Edwards is stuffing his face after a well-deserved weekend. And we couldn't be happier Walter is back. Mike or Walter, anything else you want to say before we go to our first news story?
No, I'm good. Go ahead. I'm ready to roll.
Welcome back, Walt.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much.
Outstanding. Anyways, early this week, Joe Biden spoke at a service dedicated for all members of law enforcement that died in the line of duty. And almost right on cue, President Biden spoke about losing his son, Beau, who died of cancer. His son was the Attorney General for Delaware, and he was a Army reservist. So you have all these members of law enforcement who died in the line of duty, and Joe Biden had to make it about himself, losing his son, Beau, again. Now, I understand displaying empathy, but almost every solemn speech Biden gives talks about losing a son. If Joe Biden is so distraught about losing a son, why doesn't he just stay home? Anyways, Joe Biden also claimed that he went down to Charlotte for the 4 members of law enforcement that were killed. I highly doubt that. We've heard nothing from the Biden administration about this. If he did in private, not telling the rank and file law enforcement that... if he did tell these families that, giving condolences, Why doesn't he come out in public and back up the rank and file? I mean, he's been talking crap about law enforcement since day number one. President Trump, on the other hand, has a proven track record of supporting not only law enforcement but all first responders. Because our friend Little Billy Keebler from Yanadas's New York Fire Department actually met President Trump. So, and there's no cameras around whatsoever. And he does make it a point to shake hands with all cops, firefighters, and first responders. So, couldn't be happier with Trump. And then I think Biden's full of you-know-what. Walt, since you're back, what say you about Biden making it about his son again?
Well, it's the same old story over and over and over. When you're really distraught about losing a child, and I speak from experience, it's not something that you just bring up for other people to hear when they already know. You bring it up, you're just trying to be I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for, but you're trying to make yourself the center of attention when nobody wants nothing to do with you anymore. So you bring up the sadness in your life, and that's what he's doing. It's horrible to lose a child. It's hard at any age. And however, I believe, within 5 months or 6 months of a presidential election, you bring up what you think you can do in the next 4 years. You try to compliment yourself about what you've done in the last 3.5 years, which really he doesn't have much to talk about. That's probably why he brings up Joe Jr. Now, I just think that, he's just looking for attention, sympathy, and God forbid he gets elected president again, because we'll be hearing about Joe Jr. for another 4 years.
Right. We'll be hearing about Joe Jr. Meanwhile, the border's wide open, the dollar will collapse, and just World War III will light off. Mike, what say you about Biden talking about his son that died of cancer at a memorial for law enforcement that died in the line of duty?
I think it just kind of exactly like Walt said. It's just him being him. He's showing his narcissistic self to be exactly what you would think he is. He's just a complete and total narcissist. He has no empathy or concern for anyone else but him. He doesn't see anything else as important besides his own wants, his own needs, his own feelings. That's it. Everything else is just a prop on the stage for him. He's the only actor on it. Everything else is a prop. So I think he's just showing what he really is. Although I did think we have to give him credit. He did say he would unify the country, and he is. He's unifying the entire country behind his opponent, behind Trump. I mean, everything he's done is pushing more and more people to Trump's side, which is hysterical and funny and,
right.
And fitting.
Right. Real quick before we jump on another story, you guys think that Jill Biden pushed Joe to run for office?
Yes, sure, 100%.
Right,
100%.
because Dr. Biden is a teacher at Northern Virginia Community College, making probably about $60,000-$70,000 a year. So they need to keep premium gasoline in that Corvette. So, anyways, Mike, you bring up a good point. The country is unifying against the opponent, or correction, they're lining up for the opponent of Joe Biden. Last Saturday, Donald Trump held a rally in New Jersey where 80 to 100,000 people attended. We're talking New Jersey. We're not talking Alabama. We're not talking Mississippi. We're talking New Jersey. As both of you guys know, New Jersey is as blue as New York, Illinois, and California. This is big trouble for Joe Biden. Anyways, me being living in Washington, D.C., I haven't seen any Joe Biden signs, any bumper stickers, any riding with Biden shirts or anything like that. So I think New Jersey is in play. Mike, we were talking earlier. You have some news about Donald Trump.
Yeah. So Trump announced he's going to hold a rally at Cortona Park in South Bronx next Thursday. Cortona Park's like about 127 or so acres, something like that. Big park in the Bronx. And honestly, it's looking like he's going to have probably as big, if not bigger, than the crowd there than he did even in Jersey. So I think what he's showing is that even New York is in play. You know, you had a rally there today for Trump. It was all predominantly black and Hispanic people. And the main focus of it was supporting Trump and getting out the vote, registering voters in those communities, those very same communities, so that they can vote for Trump. So I think that you're going to see something akin to what Reagan did in '84. You know, when he took 49 of the states. You know, it's going to be something similar to that. It's going to be an absolutely crushing victory.
Wow. Let me make the announcement again to the people in the row. Folks, breaking news, Donald Trump will hold a rally in the South Bronx. Once again, Donald Trump will hold a campaign rally in the South Bronx. That's amazing. Walt, what say you about blue states going red? You think it'll happen?
Well, you never know. You never know. You know, it could be like, you know, Mike brought up Reagan. You know, in 1980, every state except 2 went red. You know, so and it's not so much they went red. The blue was tired of the blue, and they just voted against the blue. So I hope that's the case. You know, here, I don't know if New York would ever become a red state again. But I hope Mr. Trump also catches the Yankee game when he's in town.
Right. But, you know, it's my thing is that, say he wins New Jersey, say he even wins New York, say he wins everything. It's not how many votes he gets, it's who counts the votes. You guys, I don't know about you, but I am not comfortable about the counting of the votes for the 2024 election. Walt, what say you? Do you think the election will be secure?
I've said this over all the past elections that you and I have been on the air for, okay? Every time there's an election, there's a problem with the counting and a problem with the machines, and the machines aren't punching or they're not registering. And then you don't hear anything about it for another year or 2 years until they need these machines. And then you hear how they're not working again. So, yeah. Does the human hand have does the human hand control the election? Absolutely. There's no full people of honor that monitor these machines. And, you know, 30,000 votes in this state, 30,000 votes in that state, that adds up. And if they don't get counted properly, you know, you're going to have the wrong guy in the White House.
Right. Mike, what say you about the securing of the elections? Do you think it's going to be a snow job again?
I don't know that they'll be able to. I think it's going to be, I think the disparity is going to be so great this time that they really won't have that kind of opportunity they had in 2020. And you don't have the lockdowns, you don't have a lot of the stuff that they had in play last time that they could do that kind of thing. But so I don't know, it'll be easier for them. I think they'll try, don't get me wrong. I think there'll be plenty of fraud. They'll definitely try. But I don't think they'll be able to do enough to really overcome what he's going to do this time. But what Walt said is exactly right. The machines are garbage. They're absolutely horrible. You know, France got rid of any kind of voting machines in the 70s because of fraud. You know, it should be paper ballots, one-day voting, voter ID. That's it. You put those in play, and I think we'll see an extremely different, you know, political environment in this country. I think they go back to really where they should be, and people actually back into play again. But, you know, there's so much corruption tied to it that, you know, it's going to be a hard lift because the people who hold power right now don't want that in any way, shape, or form. But that's really what it should be.
Right. And you know what? We should do what Iraq did with their first elections after we killed Saddam Hussein. Have everybody dip their finger to show that they vote. And if you don't have any fingers, a toe. If you don't have any toes, you know, use a different appendage. But, you know, we'll see. I mean, I hate to say this, but Mike Lindell was right. Denise D'Souza was right. But we got too much to lose. Anyways, we'll be right back.
Exposing corruption, informing citizens, pursuing liberty. You're listening to Liberty News Radio.
USA News, I'm Laura Winters.
But I wanted you to start off by saying, hello, Minnesota. This is a great state. We're going to win this state.
Donald Trump speaking at the Minnesota GOP Lincoln-Reagan dinner Friday night. Earlier in the day, Trump and wife Melania attending the graduation of their son, Barron. The judge at his hush money trial in New York City at first denying the request and then allowing Trump to go. As for President Biden, he heads to Atlanta to court black voters as support slides. A new Fox News poll shows he's lost 7% of black voters since October of 2020. Florida Congressman Republican Byron Donalds, who is African-American, says the president should be worried about black voters, but that it's his own fault for losing their support. Biden is scheduled to give the commencement address at Morehouse College on Sunday.
President Biden commemorated the 70th anniversary of Brown versus the Board of Education, the landmark ruling that outlawed racial segregation in public schools.
70 years ago, when the Supreme Court ruled in Brown versus the Board of Education that racial segregation in public schools is unconstitutional, a prayer was answered in a long struggle for freedom.
Speaking at the National Museum of African American History and Culture in Washington Friday morning, he emphasized his administration's commitment to the black community. Biden accused his political rival Donald Trump and his allies of trying to erase history by attacking efforts to promote diversity, equity, and inclusion across the nation. I'm John Schaefer.
In other news, Masters champion Scottie Scheffler, the #1 golfer in the world, arrested and put in jail outside the PGA tournament in Kentucky. Later, he gets out, makes his tee time, and birdies the first hole. He's accused of second-degree assault on a police officer and other charges. A mugshot released. He was driving in a marked player's car and was going around traffic early in the morning after an unrelated incident involving a pedestrian who was killed. His lawyer says this entire matter a big misunderstanding and that his client should never have been arrested. And I'm Laura Winters, USA News.
Greece is cheap,
but the airfare costs a fortune.
Paris?
Not much closer, and again, airfare...
What about Puerto Vallarta?
Let's face it, flying anywhere is just too expensive.
Wait, what's this? Low-cost airlines.
With one call to low-cost airlines, you'll drastically slash your travel costs. We're talking insanely low airline prices to any of your favorite destinations. Where would you like to go? London, Rome, Costa Rica, Australia?
Wow, that's cheap.
So why wait? Call now to learn how crazy cheap it is to fly anywhere in the U.S. or international. Our prices are so low, we can't publish them. The only way to get them is to call to instantly hear the most amazing best deals on airline travel. It's that easy. So call now and start packing.
800-215-5141. 800-215-5141. 800-215-5141. That's 800-215-5141.
As the United States boldly stepped forward in the glorious light provided by its new Constitution in 1787, the nations of the earth were in awe of the newfound strength and hope of this free land. Today, the nation stands at a crossroads. A divergence from the original intent put forth in the United States Constitution has brought grave threats to our beloved nation. A miracle is needed if the United States is to survive. That miracle is again the pure application of the United States Constitution. I'm Scott Bradley. In my To Preserve the Nation book and lecture series, I bring forth truths that will help raise up a new generation of statesmen like those noble Americans who founded this land. Vigorous application of these principles will invigorate and restore the nation, and we may become again the freest, most prosperous, most respected, and happiest nation on earth. Visit topreservethenation.com to begin that restoration.
In the medical field, IT security is crucial. Our highly skilled consultants are HIPAA certified and have 20-plus years of experience servicing medical clinics, billing, and supply companies. We offer comprehensive endpoint protection, guarding your computers and servers against all stages of threats. And with our 24/7 monitoring services, you'll never worry about extensive downtime again. Ready to level up your IT support? Call 801-706-6980 today and discover how great IT services can be with managed IT services.
Have you ever heard of Loving Liberty Ladies? Well, the Loving Liberty Ladies are here to help you learn our American heritage and the way it affects today's society. The Loving Liberty Ladies also have a discussion guide called Proclaim Liberty. And with this guide, you can start your own group in your hometown. Get yours today on our website at lovingliberty.net. Look for our lesson supplements, too. They're free. To hear all the special offers and to join the fight for freedom and liberty, please go to lovingliberty.net.
Wow, you're still listening? Here's more 7-5 Radio.
And we are back. Peter Scoop Stanton with the returning Walter Yurkiw and Mike Rakebrandt. We are at the Political Cesspool 20th anniversary party, and this is the biggest audience we had ever. About 20, 30 people. We are, wow, huge. Anyways, we have the man of the hour himself, Mr. James Edwards, host of the Political Cesspool, the man who gave me my radio career, the man who gave me his blessing to do my own radio show, even though I am still the Washington, D.C. correspondent for the Political Cesspool, and the man who does our awesome voiceovers. Boy, I wonder who the genius who wrote those. James, how are we doing tonight?
Hey, Scoop, I'm just basking in your glow, buddy, and I appreciate being on your program tonight. We've had a lot of good times together. A lot of them have been recounted tonight. And a lot of good times still to be had, all the way back to the mid-2000s, you coming into the studio, us going out to the karaoke bar after that. But I got to say, great to be on with Walt and Mike as well tonight. I appreciate that. I like the thing y'all got going on here. Immediately following us here, you know, we saved the best for last on the Liberty News Saturday night lineup, and when you guys get going, especially when you add a little pinch of Charlie LaDuff to the mix,
oh boy,
you got something. Danila,
oh yeah. But anyways, James, you know, we do close out the Liberty News radio lineup on Saturdays. You know, I'm proud to say the Political Cesspool is the warm-up show.
That's right. Sure it is.
No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, this is your very first time on 7-5 Radio.
That can't be true.
It is.
There's no way.
You're on every.
All these years I've been listening. And
yeah, you don't want to come on because you know.
Well, I'm tired by the end of my shift.
I know. Besides, you get to go home with somebody at night, unlike yours truly.
That's not what I heard.
You didn't. You should have heard the beginning of the show. I was overserved by myself. I went home by myself again. Anyways, James, I got Walter.
Like I said, that's because the nursing home doors were locked.
Yeah, the nursing home doors were locked. But anyways, James, say hello to Walter and our newest family member, Mike Rakebrandt.
Mike, great to talk to you. Walt, good to talk to you again. Big fan of the documentary,
yes,
which
sir.
I can't remember if I watched the documentary on Netflix before the first time I talked to Walt, or was it immediately after?
Here's what happened. Like everybody else, I said, James, you got to watch this movie. Yeah. James, no, you have to watch the movie. Yeah. James, watch the Cotton Picking movie. Then one Saturday.
I don't think it took me that many reminders. I was pretty eager to watch it, and I enjoyed it.
Right. So as soon as you watch it's like, how fast can we book him? I was like, let me see if he comes on tonight. And that was, God, how long ago? But anyways.
Yeah, it had to be around, I remember where I was living at the time, so it had to be around 2017, 18.
Yeah, about 8 years ago, because we've been doing this for
it's been a minute.
6, and then I was with Lancey for 1. So just like everybody else, nobody leaves.
Which you get mobbed up in TP, you know, this radio family, this outfit, and a lot of people stick around. And anyway, I remember having Walter on the show a time or two, and then you and him just really hit it off, and the rest is history right here, radio history here on 7-5.
Right, and we also have another former gunslinger, Mike Rakebrandt, who was also a former member of the NYPD. And just like yours truly, he was also a member in the United States Navy. And also, he knows a lot. Some we will not talk about on these here airways because the feds will be listening. Mike, say hello to James Edwards, the man who gave me my radio career. You can take it out on him.
Hey, James, it's great to be on you.
It's great to talk to you, Mike. I appreciate the work that y'all do with Scoop here on 7-5 every week, and y'all really got a fun show.
Yeah.
It is a fun show.
Yeah, because I got to make it fun because, I mean, all day here, just hearing all the different speakers on the radio show and during the day, just how bad this country's falling apart. And it's got to fall apart even more before we build it back up. So then here it's time for 7-5 Radio. Let's put a little let's spike this drink, which I got a fifth sitting right over that table.
There's a lot of liquor here in the room tonight.
A lot of liquor.
Internationals. We had people from Brazil here bringing us their spirits. And
and I helped.
Plenty enough to share with Mike and Walt, that's for sure.
Yep. And I got to control myself.
And Danila and Charlie. I know Charlie's ready for some.
he's probably passed out now, but we won't talk about that. But anyways, James, real quick, what's the next step for the Cesspool? We've been here for 19 and a half years. We're doing this early. 19 and a half years. We're going to hit 20 with guns a-blazing. Hopefully we do the political roundtable again where we had all the shows.
Oh, that was fun. That was didn't we do that on election night 2016?
In 2020.
We did. Was it 20?
No, we did 2016 and then 2020.
Oh, and 2020. We did it both times.
Yep. And I remember
the days are long, but the years are short, and so
right. And then Sam told me and Walter and Mike, the other Mike Guerin, our not so sexy intern, hey, you guys have it for a while, and we took off running with that. That was probably our best segment ever. But,
well, you know what I love about 7.5 is good content, to be sure, but a lot of good-natured ribbing as well, a little bit more than that when Charlie's on. But it's just a good rapport. Everybody feels like they're just in the room talking to friends. And even more so, certainly more so than TPC, y'all just got this brotherly club that you have some laughs, a little bit of comedy, certainly some substance. But it's a good thing. Y'all have got your own unique delivery and presentation and niche here at 7.5. It's fun to listen to. I enjoy it.
Thank you. That's what I want to do, because even though we're, quote, unquote, the fourth hour of this political cesspool, I said, I don't want to do the cesspool. I'm not going to do the same articles you have. I'm not going to have the same guests you have. I want something a little bit different. And you mentioned the ribbon. Unfortunately, all the ribbing is taken out on yours truly.
That's why I said a little bit more when Charlie's on.
Yeah, I guess they're just jealous.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, like, look what happened last night. I drank too much and went home alone. Again.
Well, who wouldn't be jealous about that?
Well,
at least you still got the drink.
Yeah. Oh, too much. Oh, my God. Anyways.
We're not. Look at this over there. All the tribute.
Yep.
Is it still over there? Somebody drinking already.
Let's consume. Anyways.
Oh, you took it away?
Oh, the lovely Mrs. Edwards. Danny, what's your first name? I always known to call you Danny. Is it
Danielle?
Yeah. So so we got two Dannys on the network. So, anyways, guys, you got any questions, comments, concerns to Mr. Edwards?
No, just well, yeah, I want to thank him also for putting me up, on for the 5-6 years now, putting up with.
I think 8.
Could have been last year, but they all blur together. I remember them though, and it was good stuff. Hey, listen, Walt, it was my honor to have you on. I mean, your career, the documentary, I mean, all of that is big news stuff. So you gave us the honor of coming on. I never figured you'd end up with Scoop all these years, but we're all better for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm out of James's hair.
What hair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mike, what say you about? You got something else, Walt?
No. We were in my time.
You know who would have been great on this show with y'all? As I say while I crunch this ice? The dearly departed Sonny Landham.
Oh, God.
Sonny Landham, a Predator. I could see, and he passed away a few years ago, but he was a lifetime friend. Played Billy the Tracker in Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was in
48 Hours with Eddie Murphy.
48 Hours with Eddie Murphy, a lot of other movies. Action Jackson, Carl Weathers, I mean, all that stuff in the 80s. If there was any action flicks in the late 80s, Sonny was at least in there somewhere.
Right.
And he was a longtime friend of the show. He actually spoke at our kickoff party in 2004. And I could see him fitting in with this crew like a hand in glove, and he would have. He passed away a few years back, right around the time you were first getting this thing up and running. But I think he passed away in 2017. But he would have been a big part of this. I could see him on here with Walt and y'all cutting up every night. He was a character larger than life, on the screen and in real life.
Right, because the show with like Pat Buchanan, Sonny, and yours truly was off the chain. And why would you have Pat Buchanan, then Sonny, who's in his hospital bed under medication, and then me? I stunk up the joint. Anyways, let's keep moving. Mike,
why not? That's the question.
Right.
Why not?
I mean, I stink up this show. Mike, you got any questions, comments, or concerns to the awesome Mr. Edwards?
Thank you again for helping Scoop and Walt get the show going. I love it. It's absolutely amazing. And congratulations on 20 years, brother. It's an amazing accomplishment. God bless you. Congratulations.
Well, thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you saying that. And it's been my honor to work with Scoop and, by extension, you fine fellows, and listen to you all the time. And it's great to be on tonight because we're all here together. I am a foot away from Scoop as we speak, and as the crow flies, I'm looking at him.
Yeah, with those stars in your eyes. Anyways, we come back.
Thank you, guys.
We'll talk about more depressing news. This is 75 Radio. Thank you, James.
The spirit of the American West is alive and well in Range Magazine, the award-winning quarterly devoted to the issues of the American West. Each issue contains informative articles, breathtaking imagery, as well as the culture of cowboy spirit today, and gift ideas, like this year's Buckaroo calendar. Order online from rangemagazine.com. Loving Liberty Network salutes the spirit of the American West at rangemagazine.com.
Why don't we say to the government writ large that they have to spend a little bit less? Anybody ever had less money this year than you had last? Anybody ever having a 1% pay cut? You deal with it. That's what government needs, a 1% pay cut. If you take a 1% pay cut across the board, you have more than enough money to actually pay for the disaster relief. But nobody's going to do that because they're fiscally irresponsible. Who are they? Republicans. Who are they? Democrats. Who are they? Virtually the whole body is careless and reckless with your money. So the money will not be offset by cuts anywhere. The money will be added to the debt, and there will be a day of reckoning. What's the day of reckoning? The day of reckoning may well be the collapse of the stock market. The day of reckoning may be the collapse of the dollar. When it comes, I can't tell you exactly, but I can tell you it has happened repeatedly in history when countries ruin their currency.
This is a battle between truth and deceit, a battle between forces that would enslave this country in darkness and between a media that wants to present you with the truth. We are being censored. America's news outlets no longer provide the truth. 90% of news outlets in the United States are controlled by 6 corporations. The mission of the Epoch Times is to chase the truth, to ground all statements in fact.
TheEpochTimes.com.
This is 7.5 Radio with Walter Yurkiw. Walter Yurkiw. Walter Kiwi. Here's Walt and Scoop.
Okay, we are back at the Political Cesspool 20th anniversary in South Carolina, the biggest crowd ever, with Walter Yurkiw, who made his triumphant return, and Mike Rakebrandt. It's been a hell of a show. We started off rough. We're ending it smooth. Anyways, having a hell of a time. Somebody spilled some booze, but we'll talk about that later. Anyways, final story. Last week I went shopping. I spent $80 at the grocery store. This was Walmart. I was shopping for myself. And I bought some detergent, razor blades, toothbrush, and some other stuff. No booze, for once. No beef. Just $80 worth of groceries for myself. I can only imagine how a family of 4 or 5 can do this. Forget about Israel, Ukraine, abortion, and the Trump trial. This is what the voter will and should think about when they go in the voting booth. How much to pay for gas? How much do you pay for groceries? Utilities? How much is your car payment? Mortgage payment? Your rent? Your car insurance? I pay over $230 for a 10-year-old car with 160,000 miles on it. Good grief. Can you go on vacation? And finally, are you better off 4 years now? Are you better now than 4 years ago? I'm certainly not. So when you go to the voting booth, just bring your last credit card or debit card statement, see how much money you spent. Well, what say you? how's your financial situation under the Biden administration?
Oh, it sucks. Interest rates, with savings accounts are down. Interest rates for home buyers are up. So people that are in a pinch can't sell their house because the interest rates for the buyer are too high because they can't afford it. Food bills, just through the roof. So as far as vacations go, get yourself a lawn sprinkler and an umbrella and just pretend, that you're down at the Gulf Shores or something, because you can't get away. You go down there and the food is twice as expensive as it was years ago. Hotels, and the hotels are getting worse because, nobody wants to work. So it's worse. We're a lot worse off. Some people are just going to take that Biden is the greatest, coming since Jesus Christ, to their grave. And, unfortunately, they won't, even when they get to their grave, Biden will still count their vote.
Yep. And here's a question for both of you guys. Why does the dead always vote Democrat? Well, James just got the joke. Mike, what say you about the Bidenomics? How is Bidenomics helping you, sir?
Bidenomics has got to be the most god-awful policy ever created. It's crushing the entire middle class and the country as a whole. I mean, gross domestic product is down. You have credit card usage is like quadrupled. The amount of defaults on auto loans, on credit cards, on mortgages is like tripling every month. It's insanity. He's literally bankrupting the majority of the country day by day. And they're all smiling and printing money like it's water, like it doesn't matter. Their so-called modern monetary theory, whatever that they use. Whatever, you just print money. It's okay. Because inflation doesn't exist. It's insanity. It's absolutely disgusting. It's beyond incompetence. It's criminal at this point.
Right. And in Washington, D.C., the average price for a home is $650,000. $650,000 just for average price. Not a single-family home. It could be either townhouse or single-family home. 20% down is like $120,000, $130,000. I don't have that money. I have a pretty good job. That's why if you go on the website for Joe Biden, all he does is have a little video about talking about freedom, going after the extreme MAGA Republicans, going after the fans of the Political Cesspool, going after the fans of 7.5 Radio. He can't talk about the economy. He can't talk about the border. He can't talk about national security. He can't talk about peace in the Middle East. He can't talk about Europe. All he can do is talk about the MAGA extremists. And that's why you have people in the South Bronx rallying for Trump, and he's not even there yet. So, anyways. Well, we got a couple minutes left. Anything else you want to say to the fans? We got about 15 Political Cesspool groupies left in the room, including the nice Brazilian gentleman with all his booze. And my booze. Boy, there's a lot of booze around here. Anything you want to say to the fans of the Political Cesspool and 7.5 Radio?
I'm just, glad to be back and able to continue on as long as I can. And I'll be here as long as I can.
Right. Well, you sound a lot better. Even from last week, you came out for a segment. You sounded great, and we can't wait for you to break some more necks. And anyways, glad to have you back. Mike, what say you? Any final words? Because I don't want to keep talking over you fine gentlemen.
I'm really, really excited and happy to hear Walt back, sounding so great. And Walt, I got to say, I think you probably have a great many bounces left in you. I can't imagine that you don't, brother. I really can't. I think you're probably one of the toughest SOBs alive. Pete's absolutely right about it. I'm really happy to hear you back, man.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you.
Walt, you mentioned about summer vacation. How about this summer? And I come down to the Yurkiw compound and hang out in the pool.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's okay.
Cool.
Yeah, that'd be just fine. If you can get away, if you can get away from the nursing home.
I'll come down my water wings and my Speedo. But anyway.
Yeah, well, I don't know about the Speedo, but.
Or I can just borrow yours. But anyways, Mike, let's go back real quick. For the rally in the Bronx, are you going to try to attend that?
I am. I'm going to try and get there if I can. I know a bunch of people that are going from all over the place. I've been hearing about it for the last couple of days. People from all over the state, all over the tri-state. It's going to be a massive crowd. This guy's going to crash the Bronx. Honestly, it's going to be unbelievably huge. So I think it's going to be a very, very interesting moment in time. And he's going to prove why he is who he is and why he's absolutely going to crush this next election.
Right, and Charlie Duff was the first one to actually send somebody out in the hood to get the opinion of black people who they're going to vote for, and the majority said Donald Trump. And, of course, mainstream media picked up on it, sent their own reporter out in the ghetto and to do the same thing. That's why Charlie's a pioneer, and that's why we love have him on the air. Anyways, so we got a couple minutes left. Anything, you guys got any summer plans this year? I'm going to Walter's house. Walt?
Yeah, no plans.
Oh, good. Get the pool ready for your. Get the pool ready for yours truly. Mike, what about you? You going any summer plans this year?
I spend as much time with the kids and my family as I can. Just trying to enjoy the time with them and terrorize you as much as possible, the usual.
Right. Oh, yeah. I'll try to go down to Walter's place for summer vacation. I'll let you borrow a Speedo. But anyways, finally, one of my family members has been taking a turn for the worse. Like I said last week for Mother's Day, when you get the chance, say to your mom, to your dad, wife, husband, son, daughter, make sure they know that you love them because they only have but so much time left on this earth. Also, Sam Bushman just walked in the room. Sam, thank you very much for getting us up and running. This massive crowd at the Political Cesspool 20th anniversary is hearing me loud and clear, and they are going nuts. I got women mobbing me. I got James's performance security, or maybe not. Anyways, it's been a great time down here. James could not have been a better host. He took care of me. He took care of everybody else. He thought about everybody else first. He put us second, even though we're celebrating 19 and a half years on the radio. I asked James, why don't we do it at the 20th instead of 19 and a half? It was like, well, we're so far ahead, we'll do it 6 months early. But he doesn't know what's going to happen in come October or November. We're standing by. Hopefully, I'll get the day off for Election Day, go down to GOP and Democrat headquarters where I can tell them that they suck. Anyways, oh, thank God. Anyways, for Walter Yurkiw, Mike Rakebrandt, James Edwards, this is Peter Scoop Stanton telling you, you can make a difference. Go out and make it, and do not comply. See you next week.
Edwards for 7-5 Radio. For those who work the streets and the jails, thanks for keeping us safe. So long, everybody.